Hello, it's Wednesday, and that means only one thing. Your midweek energy check-in. What's happening in your world at the moment? What's the energy like around you? What is the energy like actually as a collective? So I've got my absolute favourite Lightseers tarot deck. Well, you're going to use these, but first of all, I'm going to find you two cards from this Goddess Guidance deck, even by Doreen Virtue. We'll pick two cards and we'll look at these at the end. There's one, there's another. So, what's your current energy like, or what is the collective current energy like? However it resonates with you. So, let's have three cards to kick off with. The Hermit, the Empress, the Six of Swords. Okay, so I feel like the current energy is one where I think we're all looking to see how we can do better. We're all also looking to see whether it's consciously or subconsciously. I think there's quite a lot of healing going on, a lot of healing of old wounds, of old stuff, old deep emotions. I think there's quite a lot of introspection going on. We've got the Hermit card there. That's all about looking at what's going on the inside. Maybe getting to the root of some issues. Maybe figuring out how to move forwards in a more healed kind of way. By looking at what's going on the inside, if it's on a personal note, but also actually on a collective note as well, actually seeing how we can do things better, getting to the root of some of the issues that maybe we've got as a collective, and maybe spending some time thinking about those and trying to heal those and bring them out into the light and do things in an actually a better way. We've got the Empress card there. The Empress, obviously she's a creator, she's extremely fertile, but I love this one because, you know, she's pregnant there, and she's pregnant, and the belly is actually the world. So I think we're in the process, I think, of birthing a brand new world for ourselves. And it's going to take some introspection. It's going to take some really deep diving on what's going on the inside, and getting to the root of all these issues, maybe bringing those shadow things out into the light, which I think is happening definitely on a collective level at the moment. Things are starting to come to light. And I think as a whole, as a collective, we have got this opportunity to create a world, create, you know, life for ourselves that's going to be, you know, more inclusive, more compassionate, more loving, more open, and, you know, create something that's going to take us through the next cycle, because I do believe that we're coming to the end of a cycle of our within the world, of our way of being, our way of doing things, our way of looking at things. Certainly some of the older structures are starting to fall apart, and, you know, we're rebuilding them, hopefully in a better way. So I think we're on the cusp, we're on the verge, we're in the transitional period of birthing a new world for ourselves. And this very much feels like the energy. Things feel a little bit easier this week. Things don't feel as if they've got as much pressure, but I think there's an awful lot of healing, an awful lot of releasing going on this week. Certainly a lot of deep diving into our deeper emotions. We've got the Six of Swords there. Things are starting to feel easier mentally. Things are starting to feel more peaceful, more serene. It's like I say, it's less like we're in a pressure cooker, waiting for something to explode, on the precipice of something. I feel like a lot of tension's releasing, a lot of pressure's releasing, and I think we're all doing a little bit of healing and a little bit of releasing this week, especially with that full moon that's happened on Monday. So, talking of releasing, what do we need to release? What to release this week? Oops, I've got three cards there. They've worked their way out. Six of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. So the Six of Wands is all about being noticed. It's also the card of victory. It's a card of, you know, having the light shone on you and other people noticing you and noticing your victories. So maybe, you know, when we come to obviously the opposite of that, of releasing it, of letting it go, maybe our need to be noticed, maybe on a personal level. Maybe, you know, it's time to step back a little bit. And maybe this card actually feels very very, very focusing on one person, shining the light on one person. I think we need to release maybe, you know, our individuality in some way. No, that's the wrong way of putting it. I think we need to try and work together. I think we need to collaborate with others more rather than it just being the light shone on one person. I think we need to, as a collective, we need to work together to get this stuff done, basically, rather than being it one person that's like, oh, look how amazing I am, oh, look how fabulous I am, yes, I've done this and I've done that, and you know, I'm just fabulous, and yes, that's because of me. Not mentioning anyone in particular. I think we need to come together in a more community kind of way. I think we need to look within our smaller communities, within, you know, our immediate community, our little families, our communities that we live in, you know, our countries. I think we need to work together to get some stuff done. Right, Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is juggling. It's all about juggling. It's about struggling, actually. It's about the flow not quite being quite right, that flow of energy not being quite right, things just being out of kilter. So I think we need to release this struggling energy, this fighting energy, this energy where we're just trying to manage everything too much. I think there's an awful lot of pressure on people just generally. And I think maybe that, again, that pressure needs to be released. The pressure on people, the pressure, you know, on families, the pressure on mothers, the pressures on fathers. I think it's about working together. It's about working together to get stuff done, to helping each other so that we're not finding ourselves in a place where we're juggling all the time. So whether for you on a personal note, maybe, you know, someone around you is struggling and juggling stuff and really finding things difficult. Maybe, you know, a little bit of a helping hand for that person. Or maybe that's you that's feeling like they're in this struggling, juggling kind of place. And you're needing a little bit of a helping hand. You know, just know that you're doing a really great job, and you know this will too will pass. That old phrase. And hopefully, there's somebody that, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help. This be somebody that can offer you a little bit of a helping hand and help you through this difficult process. We've got the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is actively moving towards her passions. She's taking steps to move towards the things in life that she wants. So when we look at releasing that, again, I feel like it's taking pressure off ourselves. I think, you know, we're very much, there feels, I think at the moment everyone's feeling under pressure to get things right. They're feeling under pressure to get things changed. They're under pressure to maybe make success, financial pressure, all of the things that come with, you know, moving towards your joy. And I think, again, I feel like the pressure just needs to be released. The pressure on ourselves, the pressure on others, and I think we just need to work together, moving forwards, to try and help ourselves together, united, connected, together, community. Very much feels like the words of this year. You know, we're not solitary creatures. We need each other. We need to work together. And I feel this year is very much all about that. It's about supporting each other, about helping each other, about, you know, helping each other take the pressure off. Oops! Oh no! I've dropped them everywhere. My terrible shuffling skills have come back to haunt me. Right, so what do we need to focus on this week? What do we need to focus on? At this midweek point, what's going on? Right, what can we focus on? The Wheel. The King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So the Wheel, obviously, what do we focus on? Things are shifting, things are changing, things are hopefully moving in a more positive place. If things have been difficult, which they have for an awful lot of people, haven't they? And just generally on the world stage, everything's been dreadful. So I'm hoping that we're going to start moving towards our destined place, our fated place. and things are going to start getting easier a little bit at a time as that wheel is turning. But certainly the energies are changing, the energy's shifting, and I think we're moving towards a different space, a different place of things feeling different and hopefully better. The King of Pentacles. I feel like this is a mentor of some description. And maybe, obviously, it's about making smart financial choices. So certainly focus on that. Smart pentacle choices. So whatever that looks like for you, it could be your health. Maybe you need to focus on improving your health, making smart choices about your health, looking after yourself. Obviously making smart financial choices, embracing the energy of that King of Pentacles. But I think for a big chunk of you, it may well be that you are either mentoring somebody, or you are being mentored by somebody, helped or pointed in the right direction, with the best way to maybe work your finances, work your health. But I think it's definitely, we all need to focus on how we can make our lives better. Our physical lives, certainly our health and well-being is number one. If you've not got your health, you've got nothing. And certainly our financial lives, I think, it's all about making smart pentacle choices, smart material choices moving forwards. So whether that is actually even consumption, we all consume far, far too much. Maybe we need to rein that in a little bit. Start deciding, be more discerning with how we're spending our pentacles. Maybe just creating security for ourselves in our home space, finding secure homes. And, I know that's not, it's a difficult one if you're in a tricky position or a precarious position. But I think it's all about creating stability for ourselves, creating better health for ourselves, creating stronger foundations for ourselves moving forwards. And I'm hoping this wheel is going to, the energy shifting, the energy changing is going to allow us, if we want to, if we're aware, if we are, if we're smart, if we're connected to that energy, that we're in it to create some security and stability for ourselves on a collective level and on a personal level. And maybe if this is where the mentoring comes in, I think if maybe the people around you, or there's people around you that aren't aware that's something they need to do, maybe this is something you can help them with. And again, on a collective level, we like to hope that we're getting assistance and help from for the people who don't have the ability to know that this is the right thing to do, to actually have a helping hand with this, creating security, creating stability, making smart choices. Right, Page of Pentacles. So again, I feel this is all about learning. It's all about, again, deciding what's the best way to spend your pentacle, and maybe coming at it from a fresh perspective, looking at it from a different perspective, one that is new, a new perspective that maybe we haven't quite considered before. So like I say, we're moving into a different cycle in life. Things are shifting, things are changing. So maybe we have to try and find new innovative ways of being in our material world. What can we do to shake things up a bit, make things better, make us feel, or not feel, but be more secure, make us, new ways of connecting with our health, making our health better. So, right, what support are we getting moving forwards? Whether that is from spirit, from the universe, from other people. What support are we going to be getting moving through the rest of this week in the energy that we're in? Right. 9 of Swords. 4 of Cups. 10 of Wands. Right, those 3 cards, they are cards, difficult cards. 9 of Swords, stress, anxiety, feeling extremely stressed, extremely anxious, something that's on your mind from the minute you wake up to the moment you go to bed. The 4 of Cups is all about dissatisfaction, not feeling connected, not feeling happy with what you've got, and maybe not even happy with the other options. Just a general feeling of I'm just not feeling it. I'm not getting it. I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. And then the Ten of Wands, carrying a heavy load. So I think the support that we're getting this week is, that makes me feel really sad actually, those 3 cards. I think we're getting a bit of a support this week to help us move through those things, maybe lifting us and giving us the strength, the spiritual strength, the mental strength to get through this energy, to really, you know, on a collective level, you know, maybe we are, you know, we're getting, helping each other in our, as I said, in our communities, helping each other, lifting ourselves. It's all about lifting our vibration, because this feels really low and really depressed, and I think the energy that, you know, that a lot of people are feeling actually, and it feels a little bit hopeless actually. So I'm hoping that this, you know, the support that we're getting from Spirit is going to help us to lift our vibration, help us to lift us enough so that we can then help ourselves out of that way of thinking, that sort of energy, and hopefully each other. We're going to help each other as a collective, as I've just said, as a community. Trying to help each other in any way that we can, being kind, being loving, being open, and helping to support each other. So, energy outcome. What's the energy outcome of oh, that one really wants to come out this week. Right, okay, so first card out was the Three of Swords, which, as you all know, it's, you know, it's a card of grief, it's a card of sadness, it's a card of heartbreak, of loss. So obviously, you know, judging by this energy, this places we need support from Spirit, yeah, I think there is a lot of this sadness, this loss, this heartbreak this week. Like I say, I think there's a lot of healing as well, being done this week, which, you know, the Three of Swords can speak of healing. But we've got this lovely Queen of Wands as our next card. The Queen of Wands, she's dynamic, she's confident, she is moving forward, she's not afraid to make difficult choices, to move forward in a really strong, powerful way. And I think this is the general energy. Yes, a lot of people may be feeling quite like they're struggling in life at the moment, that they might be feeling, you know, a little bit out of sorts. There's some healing going on. Everything feels quite raw, actually, I think. But we are not going to let that keep us down. We have got the Queen of Swords. She's my favourite card actually in this pack. I just love her energy. She's confident. She's got full of passion. She's got all the sparks coming out of her hand. She's got the energy. She's got the energy to create. She's got the energy to move forward. She's got the energy to make stuff happen. And I think, you know, things are going to start shifting. We are strong. We are going to start shifting. We've got this Eight of Cups here as our next card. Walking away from the things that don't make us happy anymore. The things that no longer serve us. Just walking away from something. And I think we're on the, like I say, I think we're on the cusp of transformation. We're on the cusp of things shifting. The energy certainly shifting forwards. And yes, despite the fact we may well be feeling sadness, we may well be going through healing, we may be feeling, you know, a little bit raw, or a lot raw in some cases. You know, we're going to shift this. We're going to turn this around, and we are going to walk away from the things that don't serve us, the things that aren't in alignment with us anymore, and we are going to move towards better things, to brighter things, and we're going to do it together more than anything. Right, we've got 2 cards here. We've got an interesting one here. I like this one. Kali, powerful. Endings and beginnings. The old must be released so the new can enter. The spirit of Kali. Yeah? So, release. It's a week, I think, of release. Obviously, we had that big Scorpio full moon at the beginning of the week. Week of release, endings and brand new beginnings. Ones that we are in charge of. Ones that we can create for ourselves. walking away from the things that aren't in alignment with us as a collective anymore, and opening ourselves up to new ways of doing things, new ways of looking at things, community, and just confidence moving forwards. So, White Tara, sensitivity. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships. A lot of those around on a collective level and on a personal level. Environments, situations and chemicals. So I think this is all about cleaning our world up, isn't it? It's about making things, shifting that energy into a place where, you know, we are not surrounded by this toxicity, this harshness, difficult situations, difficult relationships, situations, you know, chemical stuff. It's all about finding that purity, moving towards the best for ourselves. As I said before about Pentacles and about health, I think health for a lot of people is important this week. I think we need to, you know, start figuring out these different ways of doing things, different ways of eating, different ways of approaching our health and wellness. And certainly by eliminating anything that's harsh, anything chemically, and actually any stress, which is easier said than done, isn't it? Out of our lives, will all make things an awful lot better for ourselves, health-wise, certainly. But right, I'll leave it at that. I hope that's been helpful. Please let me know in the comments if that resonates with you on any level. In the meantime, look after yourself, and I'll see you again on Saturday, because it is the reading on Saturday is messages from your higher self. And then on Sunday, we've got another pick a card reading. So might do it on career. Not career, last week's was career. I might do it on love and relationships this week. We'll see. Anyway, right, you take care of yourself. Stay open, stay rooted, stay magical, and look after yourself. And I'll see you again very soon.